Y'all, it finally happened. Melody's Shari just went live and shared everything. And let me tell you, the backlash is coming in strong. The OWN network is staying quiet, Martell Holt is panicking, and the internet is completely shocked. Did Melody just drop the receipts that could change everything? Is OWN trying to hide the truth? And why does it seem like Martell thinks he is untouchable, still breaking court orders like it is nothing? Grab your popcorn, because this drama is getting intense, and you will not want to miss a second of it. Things are about to get real, so let us get into it. Melody's Shari has always been strong, but this time, she is bringing the kind of truth that has everyone worried. For months, there have been whispers, rumors, and drama behind the scenes. But now, Melody has taken control by going live and telling everything without holding back. What makes it even crazier is the huge reaction. Fans are supporting her, calling for accountability, while others are quickly pointing fingers. Things are really heating up, and there is no turning back now. People are questioning her motives, but let us be real. When a woman has the proof, the truth cannot be ignored. The OWN network has stayed quiet, and as for Martell, his actions have already spoken louder than any words ever could. In this video, we are going to break down everything from Melody's shocking revelations to Martell's repeated court violations and the silence from the industry that has fans asking questions. Could this live be the turning point? Is this the moment Melody finally gets the justice she deserves? Stick with me, because we are going to cover it all. We're about to go through every single detail, and trust me, you do not want to miss what is coming next. Melody's recent live was not just another moment of frustration or a chance to vent. It was a smart and bold move. She knew exactly what she was doing when she turned on that camera, and she did not hold back. With a calm but strong attitude, she shared every single fact, not only calling out Martell Holt's repeated mistakes, but also pointing out the strange silence from the people who should have been holding him accountable. For those who have been following this wild journey, you already know that Melody has been pushed to her breaking point. From legal battles to personal attacks, from public humiliation to moments of strength, she has been through it all. But what makes this moment different is that this time, she was not just dealing with rumors or reality TV drama. She was facing real-life violations of a court-ordered no-contact agreement, something that could have serious consequences, but it continues to be ignored. During her live, Melody made it clear that she has all the proof, screenshots, documents, text messages, and more. She explained how she has tried to follow the legal process and handle everything the right way. But when the system keeps failing you, what else can you do? Her words were not just about exposing Martell's actions. They were a desperate plea for justice, safety, and protection. What is even more worrying is how Martell seems to think he is untouchable, even though there is a clear no-contact order in place. Even with the no-contact order in place, he is still allegedly pushing boundaries, using every loophole to stay in Melody's life. He shows up uninvited, sends messages she did not ask for, and tries to twist the story to his advantage. This is not just messy, it is a legal nightmare. The most worrying part is that Melody is not the only one seeing this pattern. Fans and followers flooded the comments during her live, showing their shock, anger, and concern. Many are now questioning why Martell is still allowed to break court orders without facing any consequences. Martell keeps breaking court orders without facing any real consequences. Some people are even wondering if his connections or the reality TV platform he is are protecting him from being held accountable. Others are asking the OWN network, which still features him on Love and Marriage Huntsville, to speak out and address the situation. But here's the shocking part: OWN has stayed completely silent. There have been no statements, no response, and no actions taken. This silence speaks volumes. It makes you wonder, when do we stop treating real-life issues like they're just part of a TV show? When do we stop letting someone break the rules without facing any real consequences? When legal boundaries stop being treated like drama and start being taken seriously, things begin to change. As Melody shared her story, you could see the tiredness in her eyes. It was the tiredness of having to fight battles that should never have even been a question. She is not just standing up to a bitter ex, she is fighting for her peace, her safety, and her right to move forward without fear. But here's where things change. While this live was Melody's way of taking control of her story, it also started a chain reaction, one that could change everything. Own, Martell, and the entire love and marriage Huntsville world may not be ready for what just happened. And just when you think it could not get any crazier, the aftermath of Melody's life takes a huge twist. But we will talk about that in just a moment, so stay tuned. As soon as Melody finished her live, the internet went wild. Fans, critics, bloggers, and media outlets all had something to say. The comment sections on her past posts filled up in just minutes, with people reacting to everything she shared. Some people were fully supporting her, praising her for speaking out. Some people supported Melody, praising her for standing up for herself, while others questioned why Martell was still being given a platform even after breaking the rules so many times. Then there were those who stayed completely silent, own network cast members, and even some so-called friends. It felt like everyone suddenly realized the same thing. Why is this man being protected? Why is he allowed to break legal orders without facing any consequences? These are not just small arguments between exes. These are court orders being ignored, and still, Martell continues to act like there are no consequences. Martell continues to act like he is untouchable, showing no remorse, no responsibility, and no sign of stopping. But here's where things get even more frustrating. Instead of speaking out, OWN Network stays silent. This is a platform that has worked hard to support Black voices, tell important stories, and share real-life struggles. Yet, when one of their own is asking for accountability, they choose to ignore it. This is not just about a messy breakup or a custody fight. This is about a woman asking for justice and being left unheard. This man keeps breaking legal rules, and no one with real power is stepping in to help. The silence does not stop with OWN. Where is Carlos King in all of this? Carlos, who has always said he supports strong Black women in reality TV, has not said a single word. This is the same Carlos who built his career off the drama in the Love and Marriage franchise, but now that things are serious, he is nowhere to be found. He is the same Carlos who has given Martell chance after chance to fix his image, but now, when real problems arise, it seems like he is missing in action. Carlos refuses to acknowledge what is really happening, and that raises some big questions. But let's talk about the cast because their reactions, or the lack of reactions, say a lot. Some members of Love and Marriage Huntsville have had a lot to say about Melody in the past, criticizing her, questioning her choices, and even accusing her of acting like a victim. But now, when serious legal issues are at play, they are completely silent. Not one post, not one word of support, not even the smallest sign that they are paying attention to the situation. Let's be honest, this is not just about loyalty to Martell. This is about the fear of losing their spots on the show. Love and Marriage Huntsville thrives on drama, but when the drama turns into a real-life safety issue, the network doesn't know what to do with it. If they acknowledge it, they have to take action. If they ignore it, they're complicit. Now, while the silence from the network and cast members is infuriating, it's the public response that is truly shaking things up. People are fed up. Social media is flooded with hashtags calling for OWN and Carlos King to address the situation. Dr. Protect Melody. Shari is trending with fans demanding that she be given the respect and protection she deserves. Some have even started petitions calling for Martell to be removed from the show entirely. Others are tagging major news outlets trying to get Melody's story the exposure it needs beyond the reality TV space. And let's not forget the legal implications, because if Martell truly violated a no-contact order, why hasn't there been immediate legal action? This is not something that can be easily ignored. This is a violation that could cause serious trouble for him. So why has nothing been done? Who is protecting him? Who is looking the other way? The more you think about it, the more it becomes clear that this is bigger than just Martell. This is about a system that keeps failing Black women, about the double standards in reality TV, and about how networks make money from Black women's pain while refusing to protect them when things get serious. And the craziest part? This is only the beginning. This is just the start of the backlash. Even though OWN and Carlos King are staying quiet right now, the pressure is building and something has to change soon. So, what happens next? Will OWN finally speak up? Will Martell face legal consequences for his actions, or will things get even worse? Let's just say, you will not believe what happens next. Stay tuned, because as the backlash gets stronger, it is becoming clear that OWN Network and Carlos King can't ignore this for much longer. The big question now is, how much longer can OWN and Carlos King keep ignoring this before the backlash turns into a full-on public relations disaster? Let's think about what might happen next. There are a few options. 1. The network might finally release a statement about the situation, but it could be very vague and diplomatic, not really holding Martel accountable for his actions. 2. Carlos King might speak up, but he could try to shift the blame to the legal system or avoid taking responsibility for his own lack of action. Or 3. Things could get much more dramatic, forcing them to face the situation directly and deal with the consequences. The pressure is building, and it will be interesting to see what happens next. It is not impossible that Melody decides to take control of the situation and makes a big move that forces everyone to pay attention. Let us not forget, OWN's silence is not just making them look bad, it is hurting their reputation. People are watching, and fans are asking why a network that makes money from reality TV drama refuses to step in when things get too real. Why is a producer who built his career telling the stories of Black women suddenly avoiding a story that really needs to be heard? If they continue to ignore this, they might soon realize that their audience is not as forgiving as they think. So, will OWN finally take action? Will Carlos King address the controversy, or will the pressure keep building until something happens? One thing is for sure, this story is far from over. For years, Melody Shari has shown grace, strength, and resilience through every betrayal, every public criticism, and every personal struggle. She has kept moving forward, but what we are seeing now is something much bigger. This isn't just a woman trying to move on from toxic marriage. This is a woman who has had enough of the disrespect, enough of the games, enough of being silenced for so long. Melody tried to keep things private as much as she could while being in the public eye. She tried to maintain a level of dignity and discretion, especially when it came to co-parenting with Martel. The big question now is, how much longer can OWN and Carlos King keep ignoring this before the backlash turns into a full-on public relations disaster? Let's think about what might happen next. There are a few options. 1. The network might finally release a statement about the situation, but it could be very vague and diplomatic, not really holding Martel accountable for his actions. 2. Carlos King might speak up, but he could try to shift the blame to the legal system or avoid taking responsibility for his own lack of action. Or 3. Things could get much more dramatic, forcing them to face the situation directly and deal with the consequences. The pressure is building, and it will be interesting to see what happens next. It is not impossible that Melody decides to take control of the situation and makes a big move that forces everyone to pay attention. Let us not forget, OWN's silence is not just making them look bad, it is hurting their reputation.